We on?
Oh, hi.
Okay.
Tuesday night.
TV.
Well, this isn't live TV, but it's almost as bad,
Exactly.
right? That could have been a blooper, Carlos. What do you
I
think?
believe so.
Welcome to Neighborhood News. It's Tuesday night, and I'm here with Carlos. So,
Yes, and it's Tuesday night. We're back for one more Neighborhood News show. And we already said that twice, so I'm going to repeat myself again. After the nice show that we had last week, I hope everybody liked it. Was probably in over 2 years that we do this show. We have to say that it was a really nice show. Having all those professional actors and producers of movie here in our studio.
And the amazing part, Carlos, was that they were all local people, too.
Yes.
And they're in that industry. So we hear there's not really an industry here, but there is. I mean, I remember a few years back, the guy from the X-Files, David Duchovny, and his wife, Tia Leone, who is now on this show, Madam Secretary, which is excellent. They used to summer down in Dartmouth and in Fairhaven. So, I mean, we have that stuff here.
And I have to say, it with no doubt that if Nelson decides to go out of this area and go to the movie industry where they are always in need, you will find a really nice job up there and probably do a nice career there. But he decided to stay in Fall River and do what he likes to do best and what he knows to do best right here in Fall River. And that's why we keep repeating ourselves is why we lose so much time being negative when so much positive on this city for us to talk about all day long.
I agree.
And we will never run out of arguments to talk.
And you know, just the stuff we have here, because this is an older area. I've been to California like 2 or 3 times, and when you go out to California, that's kind of what they showcase in different areas, that this was a coal mine or something from the 1800s. We have all that stuff, and people flock there to see that. So, you know, we have that here, but you're right. I think if you live in Orlando, you don't think it's that great because you can go to Disneyland anytime. But I think that we kind of take for granted what we do have in this area. So.
Oh yes, definitely. And again, it's not the first time that Fall River it's picked for scenes in movies just because of the kind of historical buildings we have, the kind of buildings that we have that other communities don't have it. And if they are looking for something like that, they have to come to Fall River. It's not the first time they come and they shot a street for a day to do a scene of a movie. And I think that, again, they attend local school, they participate on the theater, local school theater, and that's what they like to do, and that's what they've been doing. And I'm pretty sure that it's gonna be a beautiful film. A beautiful. The story, I have to say, the story is reality. That's what could happen to me or to you. And what makes it even better, it's because we're not going to see a story that happened on the 18th century. We're gonna hear about something that it's right on my house. And it happens on your house, and everybody with all the new technology that we have today, and with this text messaging, driving and texting and drinking and driving, and so it's all things that we are doing now.
Well, it's funny when, you know, I brought up that example when I commuted to Boston, but not only that, I had to go through South Station. That's where the bus was every day, and there were many times that you're walking, you know, to work, so you're, you know, a little bit of a rush, and people would bump into you. The people that would bump into you a lot of times, they were like this on the phone, and I'm like, how can you walk and do that? But I think it's I don't know if you remember the old horror movie Invasion of the Body Snatchers. That's
No.
well, it was a movie years ago in the 70s that everybody becomes like kind of like a dummy in a point. You know, they just walk.
I mean,
And-
but I have to say, that's reality.
Yeah,
I sometimes caught myself doing it
yeah, yeah,
without knowing that I'm doing it. I'm talking to somebody and I'm texting.
yeah, yeah.
You know, or I'm walking down the streets and I'm texting.
Yeah.
Because again, we don't have enough time on the day to do the stuff we need to do, and this makes it so much easier for us to do. You know, it's unbelievable. You remember the yellow pages?
Yeah, yeah,
Who uses yellow pages today?
yeah.
You
No,
know,
I agree.
I-
agree.
Today I was looking for a phone.
Yeah,
I went on my phone, logged into the internet,
yeah,
put the person or the business name that I was looking for, and what I have to do is press a button, and I'm on the phone with the person.
yeah, yeah.
That's how how
Yeah,
easy
everything
it
has
is today.
changed. Yeah,
You know,
I agree.
there goes the time that we need a pencil and a paper to put down the number and
Yeah.
then dial the number.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so much. Things changed so much.
Yeah.
It's for better, yes, if you know how to use it
Yeah. Well,
for better.
I-
But could kill you, yes, if you know how to use it.
Yeah,
You know?
I think it's just, like you said, it tied into society, that we've kind of lost contact, and everybody, like you said, is guilty of that. You're on that phone texting, and, you know, I've seen people, this is what I find amazing, and this is something I don't do, but it's amazing. You'll go out to eat somewhere, and you'll see, and it's a lot of, mostly the younger kids, I think, but they'll both be on the phone like this, and I'm like, why did you go out to eat then?
Yes.
'Cause you-
And that's funny because we go out to eat, and it's one of the rules is no phones.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if we don't put one of those rules, I will be using the phone. Because when I'm eating, I have people calling me, I have people texting me.
Yeah.
And I could do that, you know, without even know that I'm doing it.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
agree.
why it's, but again, I can't wait for the release of the movie.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Silence, and I had a great pleasure to
Yeah.
meet them and to work with them, and most important, to provide them the one of the
The venues, right? One of the venues or
venues,
location?
yes,
Yeah.
they need for one of the scenes of the movie
Yeah.
that was turned, they needed a hospital.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, they turned the school into a hospital.
Yeah.
Really nice job. Took them a couple of days to set up. First to clean up. First they had the crew there just cleaning up. Then setting up the scene. And last Monday they started at 11 o'clock in the morning, and they ended at 9:30 at night,
Wow.
probably to do a 3-minute scene.
Yeah, no, it's
you know?
crazy.
So
crazy.
it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
Cool, cool.
So
But we have
a lot of events going on,
yeah,
eh?
we have a couple of
Now that the
things.
rain came and don't want to leave us, and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
leaves are changing,
Changing, yeah,
and
yeah.
falling. Soon we're going to have a lot of leaves to pick up.
Yeah, no, I know. Well, you don't have a lot of trees, so you're not going to have much.
No, it's funny. I don't have trees on my property, but
Yeah.
I clean all the leaves from my neighbors because they all fly into my
Into
yard.
your yard, yeah. No, I get it. I get it. I get it. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of things that the show's already going to be over by the time this comes out, but there's an AHA that's coming out for the fall. But there's also going to be one that they're putting together for the winter. And we're going to have the person that deals with this or works on this and puts this together in a show in the next couple weeks. And we'll talk about that. But it's important to get out and basically go to these things, because that's really important to show that, and also to show that it's going to work here. In New Bedford, with the AHA, I was amazed. My nephew was in one of the venues. He was playing like classical music because he's in a band. And I was amazed when I got to downtown New Bedford as to how many people were walking around. There were like at least a couple thousand people just walking around where that wouldn't happen on a regular night. So you know, the arts are really an important thing, and they're also, and, you know, I'm not the first one saying it, you're not the first one, it's an economic engine. It brings people in here, they go to restaurants, and it's just something that can change the image around of the city. I think New Bedford's image has changed, definitely. If you go down to downtown New Bedford, they have the Whaling Museum there, they have all those cobblestone streets, all those restaurants, and, you know, they have the Zeiterion, which I've been to a couple times. When I go to the Zeiterion, and I lived in New Bedford when I was younger, when I go to the Zeiterion, I'm like, wow, this isn't what I remember of New Bedford. You walk out, and, you know, there's all these restaurants, and it's really nice, and they have, you know, things that are really, you know, current out there. It's not as if they're having people come in that are, you know, from the 60s. And they do have that, but they do have a lot of current things. So I think that's something that would be great if we can get here. But let me move on to the announcements, because we have something, you're going to talk about something later on that's pretty exciting that's going to happen here in Fall River. Just so people know, there are a lot of activities out there that the city sponsors. Not only that, the public library, and we're just going to throw some of these things out there. The Fall River Public Library, every Thursday a month starting October 15th, is going to have a book club. And something, if you're a reader, I think that's something that's really cool, because I know when I've read books in the past, I had people that I work with that they had read the same book. So it's kind of like, you know, you talk about a movie together, same thing with a book. So so I think that's pretty something pretty cool. On October 15th, I guess the book they're going to be discussing is Cutting for Stone. So it's something, you know, get you out of the house, wintertime, it's, you know what I mean, November's already winter, it's, you know, something to get out there and do. And also, hey, it's they're kind of taking your lead here. There are movie nights at the library in the wintertime, so again, or October. October 6th at the public library, starting at 6 o'clock in the meeting room, World War Z with Brad Pitt. October 20th, The Quiet Ones with Jared Harris. I'm not even sure, never heard of that, but I'm sure that's, I don't go to the movies that often, so. And October 27th is Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise. Amy, do you or your son know any of those movies? Do they sound familiar to you? No? All right, she's saying no. All right, so no, that's something out there that's free, and it's a chance to get out of the house, an opportunity to get out of the house and meet people. That's actually, I'm sure you've been that way, but you know, for me, 5 years ago is when I started getting active in things like my neighborhood, the tree planning committee, and that's how you meet people too. You know, and my wife will say that, and I'm not even half as popular as you, Carlos. But,
yes.
you know, when I go to things, I always know someone there, so it's great. You know.
Yeah.
So, but that's how we get out, and there's a sense of community, and you meet folks. And check out online. There is a public library October calendar out there, and there are a couple of things out there. There's a story time. I guess they're having a zombie movie night, Welcome to the Dead House. I've never heard of that, but it sounds pretty cool. So check that out online. I don't want to go through the whole 30-day calendar and bore everybody, but there's a lot of stuff out there to do. So check that out.
Oh, yes. And now it's we're going through the fall, and when we're going through the fall, I'm already working on the winter events. Because, and very brief, I'm going to mention that we have the parade, the first Saturday of December. I believe the 6th. Again, I need to thank people that volunteer for years. Carol Vancourt and Ken Pacheco, people that been dedicating their lives into a parade for 30 years.
Absolutely.
And I have to thank them, and they feel like me. Our pay is a smile in the kid's face.
Absolutely.
That's worth it more than a paycheck.
Yep.
And that's why I do a lot of stuff, because, you know, if you like to volunteer, especially putting events together for kids, you will feel the way I feel the end of the day, after working hours, you see a kid smiling and having a good time,
Yep.
that's your paycheck.
Yeah,
It's nothing that pays you for that moment.
And I think to lead on to that, you know, it's, you know, you participate, but this parade costs $100,000, I think, right, or more.
Yes.
And I have to say, I mean, I don't have a little one anymore. I've gone once or twice, and it is packed. That's probably the biggest
Oh, yes,
count of
yes,
people that
yes,
come to a
definitely.
parade in Fall River.
And again, those heli balloons,
Yeah,
you see those balloons in New York,
yeah, absolutely.
you know,
Absolutely, yeah.
and here they are, you know, in Fall River. You probably, I think was last year or the year before, one of the balloons were on the Thanksgiving parade in New York,
yeah.
and came from New York to be on our parade. So that's how much work they put into this parade. So
together,
again, thank you for everyone that puts that together.
Yeah.
And again, then cost the city $1.
Yeah.
It's all private money.
Yeah, and
So, you know, I have to mention that.
yeah, yeah, and I think if anybody, you know, is willing to either volunteer, I know I've seen it in the past, getting toward the parade, that they're looking for people to, you know, hold the kites,
Oh,
that
yes,
sort of thing.
yes, yeah.
So I mean, you know, and actually giving them a monetary donation, they're not gaining anything out of this. I think,
Exactly.
you know, they know our kids are just as important as kids anywhere, and this is something that they all look forward to year after year. So,
Yep.
you know, and we've discussed this at numerous, you know, the past couple shows. You know, we all know what's going on in the city, and, you know, you hear back and forth, this is being negative, this is being positive. Well, you know what? No matter who you are in the city, where you are on any kind of topic, try to get out there and do something. And this is something that you can do that's positive for our community, that's already created. You know, these people that do this every year, such as yourself, these folks get burnt out after a while too. And I'm sure they can use
Yes.
plenty of volunteers. So let's do something for all of us so we can all come together
yes,
again.
definitely,
you know?
definitely.
So,
So the 6th will be the Christmas parades. The 7th, we have a bus trip to New York. And on the following Sunday, we're going to have the Christmas show, the Fall River Christmas show.
which was good last year, very good
Which-
for your first year.
For the first year, I learned a lot of, everything went very well.
Yeah.
The kids loved it to be there. The public loved it because, you know, $2 an adult
Yeah.
was,
Yeah, it was
it's
good.
pretty much to raise money to pay for the school. We need to pay, it's a Sunday, we need to pay the custodian to be there. So it is a few dollars in expenses for that. And, so we doing the second year this year, which is good because we already have a very nice parades. Now, on the following week, I want people to look for the show.
Yeah.
And the show is, the big actors on the show is the kids.
Kids. And you know, I think, you know, you probably haven't mentioned this, and you already know this, but I'm just putting it out there, is that these kids also look forward to going on stage. And
Yes.
I know when I was watching, you know, they enjoy doing that.
Yes.
And if you're not, sometimes if you're not in any kind of organized thing, you don't get to, you know, to perform in the public. And this is an opportunity for these
And
kids to
again,
do
it's
this.
it's another family event. The
Yep.
parents going, the grandfather goes, the aunt goes.
Yeah.
You know, they want to see the little one
It's-
performing.
Absolutely.
And it's a big moment for these kids. And, you know, it's something that we give them. It's memories for them.
Yeah.
They will never forget.
Absolutely.
So we're looking forward to repeat it the second year this year. So it will be the second Sunday of December.
Yep.
But, and let me talk about the Halloween.
Yeah. You know, you're kind of not busy lately, huh? You
No,
really don't have
no,
much
no,
going on. What have
no.
you been on your cell phone all
Believe
the
me,
time, and your iPad?
I'm already working on the first snowstorm I'm already working on event for the first snowstorm this year. So as you see, I have a lot of time. I have a lot of free time. But
Sure you do.
but I got approached by a couple of teenagers that want to help us doing a haunted house.
Okay.
And I saw the haunted house as a good opportunity to fundraise the project that we have for the school, which we applying for grants, but I'm not going to sit back and wait for grants. I will do any opportunity that I have to raise $100. I don't care if it's $100.
Yeah.
It's $100.
Yep.
So what we're going to do is we're going to do a haunted house, and I give a couple of minutes for them to. We put together a clip. That's when Nelson, that we had on the last show, the producer that we had on the last show, I asked them for this favor, and he went there. He shoot for a couple of days, and he did this beautiful ads for us.
Well, don't mislead people. I mean, yeah, they did a good job, but it's not a beautiful
To
video.
me, it's a beautiful. Nelson, I don't care what they say. You did a beautiful job,
Yeah.
and so far people been loving the
Oh no,
the commercial.
it's great, but I don't know if people are going to say it's beautiful once they watch it.
It is beautiful. If you like Halloween, it's
yeah.
beautiful. Let's see.
So we're not. Okay, so I've been in that building, and that's what's going on there? Jeez.
You know, this clip was all filmed at the DeVol School, and they used the building. Took them, a couple of days to take images and to come up with this final.
Product, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
and really nice. So here what's going to happen.
Yeah.
The second, third, and fourth weekend of October, the 10th, 11th, 12th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 24th, 25th, 26th, from 4 to 10, we're going to have a haunted maze kind of on the yards of the DeVol School. The good part of this is we locked into Diamond High and to Durfee. We asked for volunteers on the acting, staff, and makeup artists.
Oh, cool.
I already have calls. I had calls, and that's who's going to be doing this haunted house.
Oh.
Again,
Wow.
one of my idea is not just provide for the kids, but have the kids be part of it.
Yeah, excellent.
And acting's kids that act, they love this kind because it's once a year.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
So we had volunteers from Durfee High and Diamond.
Diamond, yeah.
And we're gonna make it affordable for everybody. It's gonna cost $10, and it's gonna be abreast.
Yep.
And that's good to 4 entries. So
Wow,
they
there's
can,
gonna be
on
4
the same
entrances?
day,
Holy cow.
on the same day, they can go back 4 times.
Wow. Wow.
So I want to make it affordable for them to get in,
sure.
to get in.
Yep.
And what that's going to do, and they're going to have fun, is they're going to go through, they get out, they're going to call a friend,
Yeah.
you need to see this, because now he can bring 3 friends in, because he has 3 more entries.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's the idea of give them more for the buck.
Cool, cool.
The second thing that I need to say is the Sundays, the 12th, the 19th, and the 26th, for the little ones, we're going to have a tour behind the scenes.
Okay.
Because the kids always asked about, but they're afraid to go inside.
I might have to go on that tour.
So the tour is kids 10 and under are free,
Yeah.
and the parents pay $5. The adult pays $5.
Yep.
And what they're going to see is how we do it,
Yep.
what happens there,
Yep.
how looks, and they're going to see the actors getting makeup on.
Yeah.
So it will be kind of the whole family can
Get involved, yeah.
involved on this.
Cool. That's excellent.
So I think that was a good thing. Let's hope for the good weather.
Yeah. Well, it's indoors though, right? The majority of it?
No. It's outdoor.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be
Outdoors,
outdoor.
okay.
We try to do it indoor, but because of the fire department, and we're not having the sprinkler system installed yet,
Yeah.
and most likely we had to spray the whole
Oh, okay.
thing, with material
Yeah.
that will not catch fire.
Yeah, yeah.
The cost was going to be crazy. So we decided to do it outside.
Cool.
I think it's going to be the only one outside.
Yeah.
We have a couple of more haunted house in Fall River, but on the outside, we're going to be the only one. It's going to be kind of a maze.
Maze, cool.
So,
That's excellent.
and we're looking for bands to play on Saturday nights, DJs, so the kids can stay later, and have a good time there.
Cool.
So here's another thing to bring your whole family. That's an event for the whole family.
Cool, cool. Sounds like a plan. Sounds good.
And I think will be good. We're looking forward to see you during this month there. I hope the kids will like it and keep coming back.
Yeah.
It's definitely affordable.
Yep.
It's definitely affordable for them to come at least once a week.
Yeah.
And have some fun, spend time with the friends there.
Cool.
And the families to bring their little ones too, and kind
to
of
see.
get in on the spirit of Halloween.
It's cool.
And like I said, and we have more
coming on,
the
yeah.
oven.
Oh,
It's
jeez.
not done yet, but we're planning
say-
a lot of more events, and I'm looking for this winter to put up and to announce the activities that we're going to have during snow time. But again, for those activities, we need the snow.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think they said it's going to be a bad winter time, so.
So we're going to have a lot of fun.
You're going to be the only one that says we need snow, I'd rather have just the cold weather minus the snow.
So, and it's one more show done. Again, we just talked positive about Fall
Yeah,
River.
that's it. Yeah,
Wow.
I mean, yeah, and no, that
It was
and
not
that's-
hard.
No, it isn't hard. It isn't hard, and I have to say after that last show with the actors, it does. It
Yeah.
kind of changes your mood. So I think that's fantastic, and I think we
Better
have,
days will come to Fall River,
yep.
and we will survive all this bad
Absolutely.
winter.
Absolutely, you're right.
But we will be here
Yep.
for a long time.
Yep, definitely.
John, thank you again. See you next week.
Yep. See you next
And
week, Carlos.
Thank you, everybody, for watching us again.
Yep.
See you guys next week. Thank you.
Next week, and say something positive, or at least think positive.
Yes. Thank you for the guys on the control room.
Yep.
Amy,
Thanks a lot,
thank you.
Amy. Amy, thank you. Have a good night, and Adam also.